So good day, good evening, good night, wherever it is for you guys. Hope you're having a good day or you've had a good day. For tonight it is Premiership Rugby time as Northampton Saints take on the Londoners of Harlequins at Franklin's Gardens in Northampton. And of course, if last week's results in the Gallagher Premiership is anything to go by, Harlequins won in quite astonishing style against the South Sharks, dominating the board all over the place and claiming their home as their home in a whopping 51 to 23 win over the South Sharks. A very new and building Northampton Saints side went down away to Gloucester 27 to 16 up full time in Kingsholm. Both sides having changed quite a bit in their dynamics. Gloucester's got a whole new stadium, pretty much restyled, revamped, whole new pitch, and also a bit of a rebrand in way of their logo. But despite that, anyway, Gloucester came away with a tight win over a building Saints side. A very young sort of Saints side, a lot of young players, but a lot of new players and new signings at the club as well. Tonight as well, we also get to see the debut of James Haskell. Not a newbie by no means whatsoever. Quite an old name in the game. Been around for donkey's years. Been around for so long. He's been to many different clubs. For instance, he's been in France, playing for Stade France A. He's played for the Melbourne Rebels out in Australia. Originally came from the London Wasp, as known now as Wasp. He returned back home to Wasp and spent the last couple of seasons there before having money issues of Wasp and failure to manage to pay his current wages. They unfortunately had to get rid of him, as so many, like Danny Cipriani, who went to Gloucester. Haskell, of course, ended up at a Northampton Saints side, a very strong side, but which struggled last season and lost their first game of the Premiership very tightly to Gloucester and Danny Cipriani. So two old teammates met then. But of course, this is Haskell's first debut for the club, and it's going to be interesting nonetheless. A Northampton Saints side on the up, on a building curve, if you may. They're starting to lift themselves after a very disappointing and stressing season last year, only finishing in 9th, I believe. Quins having the same sort of season as well, finishing in 8th. There's only one place between the two teams, nothing much decided, apart from the big game and the big showpiece that Quins host up Twickenham ended in a whopping Harlequins win, absolutely trashing the Northampton Saints. But it's not about then, it's about now. So a Friday night at the Gardens started off as a very interesting affair. Both sides back and forth, throwing the ball around and wanting to put pace on the game, going back and forth, attacking each other's lines. Also saw very promising attacks from Northampton Saints side against former Saracens defence coach and England's defence coach, who has a very strong belief in defence and very strong-minded, now managing the Harlequins side, who's now just brought in the Bear as a mindset of the Quins' defence. Northampton Saints with two early breaks destroying the Harlequins line, missed tackles flying in left, right and centre. Very big disappointment there for a very heavy defence-minded coach, and big issues being shown early on after a very strong effort last week against Sal. But Northampton Saints finding the pace, the footwork, the stepping to break the lines, and having come close to scoring a try 5 metres out with the fly half young guy 19 Marcus Smith having tracked back at a rapid rate of knots to make a last ditch effort tackle to stop a try from potentially being scored 5 metres out from the line. A minute later as well, Northampton Saints went back on the attack, pushing the Quins line again, spearing through 2 missed tackles by 2 players that ganged up to hit the guy straight through the middle. And again, Marcus Smith making the last ditch tackle, tackling the guy into touch. That therefore winning a line out for the Quins to go back on the attack. Both sides trying to play a very dynamic, open game, as we can see here is when the Saints took on Gloucester last week, trying to pass the ball out of contact, but therefore inviting a lot of issues and handling problems, because a lot of people maybe not expecting the ball, misjudging their lines, and the ball coming off at awkward angles because a lot of people getting tackled and trying to get the offload at the same time. Very hard skill to master in a fall, as you can imagine. So either way, there's been a lot of knock-ons in this game. So a lot of scrums. By the half-time marker, there was already 9 knock-ons from either side. That is really high in handling errors, but it is early in the season. It is only the second game of the season, so a bit of pitch rust will be there. However, Quins laid the first blow by getting the first penalty and striking first, going 3-0 up against the host. The host have a chance to respond instantly with a penalty advantage given to them, which they decided to kick to the corner to get the crowd behind them and the enthusiasm behind them, get the home support and show some intent and some attacking intent. However, lost the line out to Quins, but however no other pressure came off of it. They eventually went on to go get a penalty right in front of the sticks to match it up 3-3. The half continued to go like this as well, with many more handling errors, many more scrums happening, but penalties creeping in as Quins allow another disciplinary error and allow Northampton Saints another shot at goal. 6-3 the score because the penalty was landed. Then another penalty was given away. Yes, you can gather the first half being an all-out penalty affair. Quins gave away another penalty and downed themselves 9-3. Not to mention another penalty that was given away by the Quins, which was missed by former Ospreys fly half and current Saints 10, who has kicked all their points in a one than bigger. Nonetheless, this has been a back and forth game, very entertaining, very dramatic, both sides going for it. But, however, on the downsides, it's been a very much off the boot and tee kind of game with the penalties coming in and very ill discipline. The first half, very rocky, and also not to mention the handling errors. But the intent to play is there, the attitude is there, the desire is there, and everything's looking quite positive, and this game will grow in the second half. More disciplinary errors kick in for Harlequins as they give away another very kickable penalty for Wales and British and Irish Lions fly half of Northampton Saints to pot over their bar, as Northampton Saints striked up to 12-3 in the second half, 46 minutes in. So another long way to play, to be more precise. But again, not looking so promising in attack or defence at the moment. Both sides very showing their frailties and their weakness as this game goes on. Who's going to tire out? As England captain Dylan Hartley comes onto the pitch for Northampton Saints. Hope to see some more impact of him after he's not been on the field since February, since the Six Nations. So I should say from late March after the Six Nations, from a concussion, a very serious concussion that he picked up in the last game of it, and he's been out ever since with that concussion. So it's nice to see him back and great to see him back come onto the pitch again, and let's see what he has. Should be really fit after all that time off the pitch, all the training and the fitness he would have done in the meantime, but that does not account to game fitness. Try time! As Danny Kerr crosses the line after a scrappy bit of defence and no guarding by Northampton Saints. Danny Care crosses the line in a perfect dive to secure a try, which Marcus Smith converts after 53 minutes of play. The first try of the game has been scored by the guest Harlequins, the Londoners, 1 try up and 2 points behind, 12-10 being the score. Straight after scoring a try with Danny Care, of course, the Saints come back at them. They earn themselves a penalty, not even a minute, just a handful of seconds after conceding a try. They could get a penalty kick to touch 5 metres out of the Harlequins try line. Take the line out. Courtney Laws goes up. The big man takes it in the air from the line out. Lands, takes the maul as Northampton Saints go for the driving maul over the try line. Doesn't quite work. Comes down. Danny Care, try scorer for Quins, gives away a penalty, and at that, Saints go back to the corner, kicking it back into the corner for another catch and go line out again from Courtney Laws, trundling more where it was gone, and rolled over the Harlequins line, with England captain just coming off the bench, Dylan Hartley, dotting it down as it collapsed over the try line, just in time for the bigger rainer, Dan Bigger, to make a conversion attempt, which therefore is successful, and Dan Bigger ups the score from a 2-point lead to a 9-point lead. Northampton Saints leading the game, 57 minutes played, 19-10, and a try each on the board. A penalty each for both sides, taking Northampton to 22 and Quins to 13. Dan Bigger and Marcus Smith, representatively, both converting penalties. All eyes of Northampton Saints slip off of the Harlequins attackers as they end up drifting in as James Lang takes a ball perfectly through a non-existing Northampton Saints defensive line and charges in for a second try of the game. For third try of the game, 3 tries in this game, but a second try for Harlequins. As Harlequins score the try and is about to be converted by James Lang, which is a missed opportunity. The scores remaining at 22 Northampton Saints to 18 of Harlequins. With 73 minutes having been played and 7 minutes of the game remaining. Are the scores going to stay the same, or are we going to see another score before full time? Dan Bigger seems to have hurt his leg as Northampton Saints win a penalty right in front of the Harlequins post. But never fear, Marinder is here as young buck. Harry Marinder steps up and actually converts the 3 points, putting Northampton Saints 25-18 up, 7 minutes played. Northampton Saints win the game in a dramatic ending, winning the game by 7 points. Scores not changing, but Quins came on the attack, started trying to replay the phases, take the pick and go, started edging closer and closer towards the line, digging deeper through the Northampton Saints defence, but ultimately fouled. It went to 3 minutes overtime because the ball has to go dead in order for the game to finish. But Harlequins managed to seal off, hold out, win a penalty by a Quins player going off feet up the luck and taking the game 25-18. Northampton Saints take the win after a thrilling game of rugby, but full of errors. Plenty to improve on and plenty more to see as the season goes on. I'm thoroughly looking forward to seeing more of these two sides going at it during the season. Don't forget, like and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Catch you then.